First opened way back in 1920. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, land it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back deep, Taylor Gabriel. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Waiting to throw on 2nd down. Going up top for Miller. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Reset. Ready. Hey, hey. Yeah.
From the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now running right through it. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. Two different things. They combine them.
Wait, 20.
On second down, here's Brady. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brady now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Green, 39.
Back to throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Second-round pick in 2015, Eddie Goldman holds down the middle of this defensive line with some toughness, some leverage, and some personality. Understands he's going to be double and sometimes triple teamed on every snap. Does it with a smile, takes on those blockers, and opens up space for his other pass rushers.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
On third down, it's Walton. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots of the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, A lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
20! Wait, 20!
Now Brady on the bootleg. To the right side, complete to Miller. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, they run with Howard. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 23 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
And while they locked up the #1 seed last week, I don't expect them to change what they do in the running game. I expect them to continue to play the exact same way, but with a change up in personnel because they want to make sure that their #1 guy has fresh legs for the playoffs.
From midfield, here's Brady. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
To throw, it's Brady. He leaves this one for Howard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? And
he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And his throw is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Now a carry for Walton. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
3-19!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Green, 39! Green!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Here's Walton, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now. Green, 30.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This one from 35 yards away. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Wait 20! Wait 20!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Brady going to throw. Shedding the tackle. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On the handoff, this is Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Wait 20! Wait 20!
This is Howard on second down. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
20!
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Eluding the pressure right. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. There's Anthony Miller as they trot back out to go on offense. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Like 20! Like 20!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. A give to Howard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Wait 20! Wait 20!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brady. Out left to Shaheen. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Wait 20!
Shotgun now for Brady. Able to find Shaheen here. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll start up in the Twin Cities. Minnesota hosting Detroit in the NFC North. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins very much in need of a victory to get to 9-5 as the playoff races are tightening up. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. The Cowboys looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Kirk Cousins with 2 first-half touchdown passes. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
White 20! White 20!
On first, they go right back to Howard. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
White 20!
Brady now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
White 20! White 80!
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Wait, set. Wait, 20.
From the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's taken down inside the 30. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Looking deep downfield. And this is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
20. 380.
Again, it's Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go now.
Now Walton. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. 30, 20, 10. The ball comes out. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will shave one more off this lead. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Wait 20! Wait 20! Go!
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Wait 20!
Brady will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6.
Wait 20! Wait 20!
From the gun, Brady finding Gabriel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 1st down, Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Wait 20!
Operating from the gun, Brady. And incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Wait, wait, wait!
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but The defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go back to Walton. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Set, 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
Still 2nd down.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty.
All right, here we go.
They'll run with Walton. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close.